It is Monday morning, beautiful spring day here in Pennsylvania, and we are going to start assessing this Willys pickup. You guys expressed interest in seeing me clean it out, so I'm going to clean the cab out and kind of take an inventory. We'll uncover the welder and see what that looks like, and just kind of go through in a little more detail and see what we're up against and decide the fate of this truck. Is it scrap metal? Is it going to be a flip, or am I going to get it running? We'll see. Let's do it. If you haven't seen the first video of me picking this thing up, click on the link in the description. You can see when we went and got this, and you'll know about this poor little L head that's now full of water from the thunderstorm last night. Yeah, so this engine got pulled from this Jeep and just thrown in the mud. So our first step, my first step, is going to be to get this out of the way off the trailer. I'll probably put it on an engine stand. Everything on the outside of it is mangled, but the block and the pistons and rods and crank and stuff might be worth keeping around. So there are some parts on it. So I'm going to roll the truck back enough to get this out of here so I can walk around up here and undo all these straps. I know you guys are really impressed with how I loaded this. DOT approved. Well, it made it home, so I call it a win. Just gonna try to move this thing back a little bit. Poor thing, it's resting right on the distributor. It's cringe feeling to slide it around like that. So try to give it a better home. Alright, now we made a little room, roll it back up a bit. This is a bit of a side quest and rather optimistic thinking, but I gotta just put a wrench on it and see. I would be absolutely shocked if it moves at all, just given the state of it. Poor pulley is just packed with mud and bent. I doubt it hit hard enough to damage the crankshaft. It was in really soft, wet dirt, but it's just a shame to see stuff mistreated so badly. A lot of rust in the water jacket, but if it's not bored out like crazy, it's probably fine. Distributor's bent, block's not cracked, and the distributor moves in the hole, so that's good. And it doesn't look like the motor mounts are bent, but who knows. Nut comes right off. I was trying to spin it that way because of the way it's sitting, but it just loosened. Usually they're stuck on there pretty good. This is a very early block with the small casting. It says CJ2A, so I didn't think this was the engine from that truck, but nut's getting tight. I didn't think it would come out or move, but ooh, look at that. I'm shocked. Wow. I don't think the distributor is happy. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's moving. Look at that. Okay. There is hope. I'm not going to go any further until I pull the distributor because I don't want to break the oil pump. I can see that shaft's mega bent. So we'll pull the distributor, and that way we don't damage the oil pump drive or anything on the cam, because it might be a good usable block. Who knows? It doesn't look like it's been milled too much, but out of breath. That was a lot of work. All right, that's exciting. Positive. Back to today's main task is going to be cleaning out this cab. So hopefully that stays. I'm just going to probably bring a garbage can over, or a bucket or something, and just clean this out. And we'll set all the actual Jeep parts that might be usable to the side. That, like, to the untrained eye, this is junk, but this coil bracket can be used. I'm sure the coil is junk, but gotta save those little American steel parts that they just don't make as good anymore. So try to recoup whatever we can. Ooh, stuff falling out, and just kind of strip it down so we can see what we're working with.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profane.
Getting there. Here's the current status. Pretty gross, but looks better. It's not in the worst of shape. I mean, it's still structurally mostly there. Got a pile of junk. I'm gonna go a little further here with the broom and the scraper, and I'm probably gonna pressure wash everything too, because the outside's full of algae. So stay tuned, we're gonna keep working. The truck is cleaned out for the most part. I didn't pressure wash it yet, but I'm gonna show you current status. Looks so much better. Obviously the floors are gone, but can at least see what's left of it and what we're working with. And it's pretty neat old truck. So original Willys Overland steering wheel, and I don't know if you've ever seen the pickup and wagon early gauges. They're pretty cool. They say Willys Overland as well. This one has the original ashtray. This truck is very much unmolested, other than what they did to the engine. You don't often see all the little trim details. I know it's all in bad shape, but like the door welting is still on it, and most of the headliner was still there. It was just hanging down, so I ripped that out. Still has one of the visors and the glove box with the logos and the shift pattern. The column shift floor pan and PTO shifter, everything still there. Parking brake, the governor handle that would have been for the PTO, and an old Atlantic lubricant maintenance chart. You can see there were several stickers. That's the only one left. And somebody, I would say these were aftermarket turn signals. But overall, this cab is restorable if you had the gumption. Needs a new roof or fix that roof, and all new floors, rockers, door bottoms, all that fun stuff. But let's call them shift stuff. is here and in pretty good shape, which I think is kind of cool. Here's the other side. This one still has the door panel in it, and the other one of those is in the back of the truck too, so it had both of these. The early style doors had these push button openers as opposed to the latch on a later door like that one over there. So early trucks had this logo. I think later they went to the one that said 4-wheel drive, and this is the same as a CJ. Nothing too exciting in there. I never understood why they made the glove boxes out of cardboard. They did not hold up well. There she be. There is a 1952, like, I think it's a wheat penny stuck in whatever that is. I think that was a turn switch. That might have been for the heater or something, but that's kind of cool. Probably a very long time ago someone stuck that in there. Under the hood is really original as well. The sheet metal up front is actually in real nice shape. The grill is very solid, and fenders and hood are usable, and it was just all original. The radiator is sitting there, but it still has the welting for that, and the majority of the wiring harness is the original fabric coated wiring. Vacuum wipers, regulator still there, and oil bath air cleaner. So that's kind of cool. The column shift stuff, they disconnected it, but it's all still here. A lot of times people toss those and put a floor shifter in it, and I'm really kind of looking at it for the first time, as you are, is because I really haven't dug around yet. So bell housing, everything's there except for the engine. The drivetrain is all intact, and just a pretty cool piece of history. Here's the radiator. It actually doesn't look too bad. When I tipped it up, it had coolant in it, which makes me hopeful for that engine. It's rusty in the bottom here, but I'll definitely keep this. The shroud is it's there, but you never know. I hate throwing out original copper radiators. It also had these rockers. I don't have a clue what these are for, but I don't think it's for the wagon. The rest of that junk was just nasty junk. There's like hubcaps, sump pumps, heater parts from like other stuff, but over here on the tailgate is the good stuff. So I think this is really cool, and I found stuff that tells me they had 2 of these, and I think I got the better deal, but they were 2 very early trucks, because again we see the Jeep truck logo and the gray early style gauges. So let's do a quick rundown. I guess I'm kind of a hoarder, but I'm saving this stuff. Some of the copper or brass nuts for the manifold, and just this good old fine thread hardware. Soak it in some gas and reuse those. It's better than the new stuff, and I don't have a lot of fine thread on hand, and a little nut bin is never bad to have around. 2 coils with those coil brackets. This one's actually really nice, so I'm saving both of those. Clutch, I'll never use it, but it's there. The original 6-volt generator, I'll probably sell that. A sump, I'm guessing that's out of a spare engine. A cool old timer pocket knife that's extremely rusted. Throw bearing, some throttle linkages for the back of the block, so definitely save those. I am not well versed in the pickup and wagon world, so I have no idea what this is for. Maybe it's part of the column shift, I don't know. Here's the sorry old Carter WO. I find it interesting it broke off at the cast iron part and not the aluminum stuff, but I will definitely keep this, because even though it's broken, there's a lot of good original Carter parts on there, and a nice original, I don't know if it's original, fuel pump, AC Delco, so it's a replacement, but hang on to that. And a carb tube, crossover tube, valve cover, and a flywheel. This valve cover looks really nice, oddly nice. And this is like, they torched this out of another Willys truck or wagon, so somebody might want that. I don't know if there's any goodies there. A floor pan off a floor shift wagon or truck with the foot starter jobby still there. And this is cool. I didn't even know this was in there when I picked the truck, the truck up. An original Willys cylinder head with some real old AC plugs and a nice thermostat housing. You never know with these heads. Sometimes they look awful and they're great, and sometimes they are beautiful and full of cracks or warped real bad. This stuff doesn't worry me. We'll get the plugs out of it and get it soaking and put it on the shelf. I would say this is a pretty unmilled spare, as long as it's not cracked. So you can always mill them down flat, but they're getting hard to find, uncracked originals. So the fact that they took it off and saved it, you never know. It's a crapshoot, but we'll try. Some truck pedals, master cylinder brace, 2 fans, one with a good water pump core on it, and a bunch of miscellaneous crap that I definitely won't be saving. So that's pretty much it for the spare parts. So the inside's all cleaned out. I am going to pressure wash it, but I'm just dying to see what's under this cover. So let's just uncover it and see what's under there. Whoa, that's cool. Check it out. General Electric 200 amp arc welder. Very cool. And look at this. The stinger still has a rod in it. Makes you wonder, what was the last thing this thing struck an arc on? Long cables, ground, and as you saw from the last video, she spins. I bet. I don't know much about these, but I have a feeling they're pretty simple. And I bet that if you cleaned it up, made sure the cables were good, I bet they would still work. What do you think? So I'm gonna uncoil all these cables and clean all this out. And I'm probably gonna pull the whole deal up farther so I can get the hose to it and clean everything off. And then I think I'll unload it and put it out in the yard somewhere I can get some better pictures and video of it.
Ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my way?